Hey everybody, we are back today in Fallout New Vegas, where we are going to continue where we left off, the Brotherhood of Steel Bunker. While there is a way to get the Brotherhood to be super chill with the NCR, at least for the Battle of Hoover Dam, it is always more fun to just blow them up to avoid their side quests. I commit this crime by dismissing my companions, popping a stealth boy, stealing all 3 keycards from the head pricks of the bunker, and initiating the conveniently placed self-destruction button. Sneaking my way out of the bunker, I narrowly escape and enjoy the fresh smell of something blowing up. My god, I love chaos. I go to retrieve our favorite boy Boone before catching up with Ambassador Crocker and beating him in a friendly game of Caravan. I say hello to Veronica before doing a little bit of trading at the 188 trading post and the Gunrunners. Because my caps are just burning right through my pocket, I grab the intelligence, strength, and endurance implants, as well as making a wager with our friend George. That reminds me, I never went back for my 300 caps. Taking a nice evening stroll through an explosive part of town, I introduce myself to the boomers before getting to know about their history. Leveling up to level 11, I dump all my points into guns. Helping Raquel with the ant problem proves to be an easy enough task, with the hardest part being remembering where Loyal's emitter is placed. Returning to her allows me to become liked by the boomers, but I decide to donate some missiles to become idolized. This cost me about 3,000 caps, but it basically allows me to have consensual intercourse with any of the boomers that are of age. Returning to Pearl lets me talk with Loyal about the bomber and the link. Convincing Jack that I know shit allows me to get the rebreather, leaving me looking rather spiffy if I do say so myself. I think I went over to Lacey's to play a little Caravan, but this has been an hour and a half ago, so I already forgot. Regrouping with Boone after leaving him in the clinic so I wouldn't get blown up allowed me to start heading towards the bomber. Along the way, we killed some rad scorpions, golden geckos, and low-level deathclaws. I did whip into the nearby Camp Gulf, and saw that the NCR did have a few things in common with the Legion before grabbing the Ranger Sequoia from Chief Hanlon. Continuing to the bomber allows me to find a floating spoon, which of course I had to take B-roll of. Boone and I take care of a few lake lurks before popping into water, attaching the ballast, and allowing the bomber to rise from the bottom of Lake Mead. With the boomer's quest almost done, I return to Loyal to tell him the good news, and Pearl to convince her to help the NCR at the Battle of Hoover Dam. I then spent the next 20 minutes playing Caravan with Ambassador Crocker, making close to 300,000 caps in the process. Needless to say, we should be good on caps for the rest of the game. Ambassador Crocker then proceeds to tell us that he wants Pacer to be taken care of. Utilizing the Van Graff's quest puts me in a perfect spot to kill him with an energy weapon, allowing them to take the blame. Returning to Crocker nets me a few extra caps and opens up the next quest in the storyline, to see Colonel Moore at Hoover Dam. Leveling up, I put points into barter, guns, and speech before grabbing the long haul perk. With the extra money I have, I purchased the agility implant and a few goods for Trudy. A faction we haven't interacted with much in this playthrough is the Great Khans. Aside from helping them out at Boulder City, we haven't touched them. That will soon change as I have plans for touching them all over the place. Being the lazy and slightly brain-dead person that I am, I head north to start making my way towards Red Rock Canyon. After almost dying after the first encounter, I pop over to the Camp Searchlight to get irradiated so that Radchild will kick back in. With the help of the boys, I deal with the Vipers at Bonnie Springs, allowing me to level up again and put points into science. Sometimes you have to slow down to smell the roses. We are talking about corpses in this case, but always appreciate what you have. On the way to the Great Khans, we kill some bighorners for their meat and experience. I also took a moment to appreciate Eddie and Boone's killing ability. Earlier when I mentioned that I wanted to touch the Great Khans all over the place, I meant I wanted to turn their women into breeders as I had done with the boomers. What can I say? Pearl has nice assets.
Took your sweet time getting here, didn't you?
When I found out that the Great Khans had an armory greater than the NCR, I trembled with a delight I don't remember outside of my first orgasm. Traveling further into Red Rock Canyon, I talked with Papa Khan. As someone who has only helped the Khans a handful of times throughout my near decade of playing New Vegas, I took my time to refamiliarize myself with their history. I found their story similar to that of Indians and Columbus, heartbreaking and one lacking in skilled communication. After speaking with Papa, I stumble into Regis outside the house, allowing me to start trying to win the Khans over. Finding the journal in Carl's locker, filled with a great deal of slander relating to the Khans, allows me to remove the Legion presence from Red Rock Canyon. On the way to Melissa, I found Deathclaw's greatest weakness, steep declines. I informed her of the fact that women aren't cool according to Kaiser, and watched Boone almost kill himself by following in my footsteps. That sounds like a great quest name. Jack and Diane, the 2 coolest drug dealers, were rather easy to convince. I feel having high charisma, specifically speech, takes away the need to do a few things for quests. On one hand, I hate this. On the other hand, I love the nicer endings to quests that I usually don't get to see, with me being usually the non-charismatic sniper. After almost an hour of helping the Khans, I tell Papa Khan he should basically kill himself at Hoover Dam, even though I should have told him to leave Nevada entirely. Long story short, I somehow broke the quest to my knowledge, preventing us from getting the cons and the NCR on the same side. Because of this, and my desire to keep access to the armory, I made the decision to stealth kill the entirety of the cons. This kind of sucked. Not in the sense that it was difficult, but that had I chosen a different set of answers, the cons and the NCR could have avoided violence. This did really go against what I was trying to set off to do when I started this playthrough, but that's the way that New Vegas works. It's always rigged from the start. Leveling up with blood on my freshly manicured hands, I increased my guns and grabbed the finesse perk. Since I stealth killed everyone, I can still buy drugs from Jack, so I take advantage of that, and I also buy some water from Camp McCarran. For whatever reason, water has been a little bit of a struggle this playthrough, so I just bought 50 bottles and went on my way. Thankfully, I have Eddie as my water mule. Returning to Colonel Moore gives me the next quest for the main story, dealing with the Emeritus. I'm afraid, however, that we'll have to deal with him next time, as that is all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one.